Yo, what up YouTube, how you doing, man? Welcome back to a new video. So in today's video I'm going to show how I make these crazy beats for artists like Lil Durk, Future, ESDG and so on. And yeah, this video is going to consist of two parts. First off, I'm gonna break down this sample that I made. I'm going to tell you all my secrets, all my techniques, all the VSTs I used. I won't gatekeep anything. And on the second part I will show you how I made the drums, all my ideas behind the patterns and the arrangement. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so we're in FL Studio. So first off, let me just play you this sample that I made. A very dark, mysterious, kind of like glitchy melody. So first off, I started off with this synth. This is from Contact. It's the MANIA library. I love this library, man. Very like vintage synth type of sounds. I love the ARPs. I love this preset. And this is the pattern that I made. Super basic pattern, very repetitive. When you're making these patterns, you wanna, like, at least for me, I like to keep them like pretty simple, just so it doesn't become like too crazy. And to actually sauce it up, I added this backmask, and this is a fire-free VST. And let me show you how to get this VST for free, because a lot of people have been asking me. So first off, you gotta go to backmask website, and it looks like this. And when you look at it, you might like see over here like buy now 20 USD, but don't be fooled by that. You can actually click steal if you are not wanting to pay, and over here it once again asks you for money.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
And please, if you can, just pay for this VST, because I think Freakso Industries is like a smaller like company, so if you can, definitely pay for it. But if you don't have the money, just click over here like money is tight or whatever your reasoning may be, and then over here click steal and just fill it all up and you should get the VST. But yeah, let's get back into the sample. Once I added this VST, it transformed everything. So the melody went from this to this. Yeah, super far, crazy VST. All those reverse kind of glitchy effects make it perfect for artists like Future. And yeah, after I had the synth down, I added this keyscape, just a low piano. I used the Rich Ballad preset. This is what it sounds like. Yeah, and I added this piano just to add some bass and some character and some depth into the sample. But yeah, let's move on. So next off, I added a bunch of accents and phrases and ear candy from the memory multikit. This is what they all sound like. And yeah, at least for me, when I add accents and phrases to my melodies, they always transform and they become more interesting and just overall better. So definitely, if you don't already, you should start using accents and phrases. You don't have to do everything from scratch all the time. But yeah, after I had all of those down, I added this bell, and yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. Omni's crazy sounding bell, and for effects on the bell I added once again backmask. I love to use this, it always makes my sound more interesting. And then I added a basic halftime. This bell is from the Nitro Audios. I don't know what it's going to be, I don't know if we are ever going to release this, but so my friend is actually working on a plugin and he wants to help us out and make us a Nitro Audios plugin. So this is just a very early prototype, but the bell is from this VST. It would be honestly crazy to have my own VST. It's on my bucket list for my producer career to have my own VST, and I want to make it like super crazy just to give y'all the best VST that I can possibly get for y'all. So that's about it for the sounds that I used on the sample, and let's talk about arrangement for the loop. So first off, over here I have this first half. It kind of has like every sound. Then on the second half I took away this bell, but I replaced it with this choir from the memory multikit. It's definitely more of a not as busy section, but it's still like super fire, and it kind of like changes up the loop. And that's what keeps your loops interesting when you're making a switch up, when you're introducing new sounds to your loops. So that's how I put together this loop. So yeah, here's the final loop one more time. Alright, let's move on to the drums. First off, I made a new project for the drums because I wanted to separate the projects where I made the loop and where I made the beat, and that's kind of organizing my workflow so things don't get too busy and too crazy. I highly suggest you do the same because it's honestly a great trick to just keep yourself more organized overall. Alright, so we are in the new project where I actually made the drums, and let me just play you the beat real quick so you can hear everything and pay attention to the drum pattern because that's where most of the magic in this beat came together. But yeah, this is the beat.
Babu made it.
Yeah, this is honestly one of my hardest beats to date. Honestly, I'm so proud of this beat, and I could easily hear like Future just flowing on top of this, Lil Durk just flowing on top of this, and I wouldn't be surprised if this gets like a placement someday soon. But let's start off with the breakdown. So first off, what I did is I added my master preset. You can find this from the Outlet Pay Multikit version 2. Essentially, it's just a parametric EQ, the basic one, fruit limiter and a soft clipper, and make sure when you add these you have them in this order so that the master preset actually works correctly and makes your drums hit as hard as possible. And yeah, this is very important so that you can get your drums to hit cleanly and loudly, and that's honestly one of the most important parts about making a good beat. Okay, so once I had the master preset, first off what I did is I just pitched the melody down 200 cents, so it went from C sharp minor to B minor, and after I had that down I added the 808, and this 808 is from the Outlet Pay Multikit version 2. This is the Jets 808. So first off what I did to the sample is I boosted it by about 5%, then I went over here and I made it a tiny bit shorter so the sample isn't as long. But yeah, this is the first 808 pattern that I made. Super basic works a lot of times. You don't want to have too crazy 808 patterns so the artist actually has room to rap on your beat. Okay, so I let that 808 play for about 8 bars, then I made another 808 pattern. This is what it sounds like. This is a little bit more busy, but from transitioning your basic 808 pattern to a more busy 808 pattern can actually be a super fire technique to make your beat more interesting. This one is pretty simple as well, but I added this tiny slide over here, and how you can do it is just double click on a note and apply this slide function. So this note slides from all the way over here to this note right here. So this is what it sounds like. Yeah, that's a very prominent effect in drill beats, but why not use it in trap beats as well? It sounds fire in my opinion. So right now I had 2 of these 808s down, and I wanted to add some oomph to the beat. So always when the second 808 pattern is playing, I added a kick, and don't ask me why I added the kick like this. Maybe I was just lazy, but yeah, it works. So this is the kick pattern and the 808 pattern sounding together. And yeah, then I just let it play, and over here again. All of these other drums excluding the 808 are from the gas station drum kit. It's the hardest drum kit out for trap right now. I promise you will make some fire beats with it. But yeah, once I had the 808s and the kick down, I added this hi-hat, and this hi-hat pattern is honestly what makes the beat. Let me play it to you first. Okay, so the hi-hat pattern is crazy but simple at the same time. And what makes it crazy are these rolls. How you can do these hi-hat rolls if you don't know already. Highlight a note, press Alt plus U, and it opens up this tool. Then mess around with this knob and it makes you the rolls. But what makes it simple is the repetition. So the same rolls repeat many times throughout the beat, and that's what makes it consistent, not too crazy, easy for the artist to kind of like remember when the rolls are coming. One of the other things that makes this hi-hat pattern is so good in my opinion is the pauses in the rhythm right here. So listen how I didn't add any hi-hats like over here. So that is what gives the hi-hat pattern rhythm, and you want to do stops like these in your hi-hat patterns when you are making these kinds of beats, because they give the artist a lot more like room and pockets to rap on, and it just makes the beat sound not as busy and not as crazy, but crazy at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. Alright, let's move on. So next off I added 2 snares. These are from the gas station drum kit as well, and I just layered 2 snares on top of each other like this. Okay, so the first snare sounds like this, and the other snare sounds like this. So this one is much harder than this one, and that's why I wanted to layer them on top of each other to make a new good sounding snare. But yeah, super basic snare patterns, I just added this roll over here. Okay, let's move on. So after I had everything down, I just added this counter snare. Super basic. Then I added this open hi-hat, and this is what it sounds like. And if you're wondering how I made that little delay effect, I just went over here and I messed around with the crossfade and the out knob to make that delay on the open hi-hat. Super fire. So after I had all of the drum sounds down, I added a lot of percussions, triangles and stuff like that. This is what they sound like. Bunch of weird sounding stuff like that. Then I also added these transition kind of things. And yeah, you can find all of these sounds from the gas station drum kit. But yeah, that's about it for the drums. And let's talk about mixing real quick. So a good loud mix is very important to make a good beat. So let me talk about my levels for a tiny bit. So first off, I like to have my melody somewhere around -12 to -9 dBs. Let's see where it is right now. Somewhere around this range. My 808, I like to have somewhere around -3 to 0 dBs. And the hi-hat somewhere around -12 to -9 dBs. Then the snare I like to have somewhere around -6 to 0 dBs. Then everything else I just kind of mix by ear and level them to a spot where they sound good. And yeah, I forgot to mention I added a tiny like bell sound that sounds like this. But yeah, that's about it for the beat, and this arrangement is very simple. I just let everything play and take the 808 out at some point just to give the beat some room to breathe. But yeah, I honestly think this beat is perfect for artists like Future because I can hear him flowing on top of this so easily. But yeah, that's about it for the breakdown, and let me play you the final beat at the end. But before we do that, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like or subscribe, and tell me down in the comments what you want to see next on the channel. And by the way, the Melody Mania multi-kit is out right now. If you want to get placements, we are sending every beat and loop made with the kit out to artists such as Lil Baby, Riley Rodriguez, Polo G, Q-Bunk and many more. That's honestly a great opportunity. Those are our real opportunity, so definitely don't miss out on that. And the memory multi-kit, which I used to make this melody, is also out right now. You can get it from the nitroaudios.com. But yeah, without further ado, see you in the next video. Peace.
Babu made it.